I'm wearing a Rick and Morty shirt today. The 80s was the era of shot-on-video horror. These were the days when anyone could buy a camcorder from the local drugstore, shoot a no-budget piece of crap, and somehow have it find commercial distribution, thanks to labels such as Donna Michelle Productions and Mother Video. And in 1986, two young filmmakers looking to break into the business grabbed a camera for themselves and set about producing two micro-budget splatter flicks filled with more blood than a butcher shop. These are the films of Matt Devlen and Bret McCormick. The Abomination is written and directed by McCormick, although he performs both duties under not one but two pseudonyms, crediting the screenplay to Bando Glutz and the direction to Matt Raven. It's about a guy named Cody who lives with his devoutly religious mother, who's a big fan of a televangelist called Brother Fogg.
Amen.
The mother is also dying of cancer, but one night, thanks to the power of Brother Fogg's faith healing, she's magically cured when she coughs the tumor up. That's fucking disgusting! The tumor, of course, becomes a monster, the Abomination, and forces Cody to kill people in order to feed its insatiable hunger for human flesh. The movie has a framing device whereby Cody is telling this story to his doctor, but then later his doctor comes to visit, and there's yet another flashback. So really, we're watching a flashback within a flashback. By the way, every time the doctor speaks, it sounds like he's doing a bad Johnny Cash impression.
Alright, Cody, let's back up.
And doesn't Cody sound a bit like Wildman?
As I'm walking closer, suddenly I realize why I'm here. It's the Abomination. He's controlling me.
The movie takes a long time to get going. Every time one of the characters gets in a car, you can feel free to just skip ahead by at least 5 minutes, because all you're going to see is them driving, then driving some more, followed by more driving. Eventually, Cody has to start bringing victims to the Abomination, so he decides to kill his friend's girlfriend. But first, he has to drive to her house. When he gets there, he slits her throat. Oh yeah, you ogle that bloody neck wound. Gotta say, they know how to get their money's worth for the effects. They also get their money's worth for their cars, cause when he's done, Cody drives home again. His next victim is the dead girl's boyfriend, who Cody lures into a trap. In case you're wondering how he got to this open field, don't worry, they show him driving there. Then, bush! By this point, the Abomination has grown into a huge creature that lives in Cody's kitchen cupboard and laundry machine. Reminds me of the deadly Spawn. Cody's mother stumbles upon the monster and it bites her fucking hand off. Uh-oh, now this is turning into a live-action remake of Urotsuki Doji. Anyway, the Abomination finishes the old bitch off while Cody just stands there looking like he's about to jizz in his pants. Maybe this is a live-action remake of Urotsuki Doji. Cody blames Brother Fogg for what's happened, so he, of course, drives over to his office to confront him. Now, we all know Brother Fogg's full of shit. Literally, just listen.
Brother Fogg is a very busy man.
Cody gets his revenge by putting the Abomination in Brother Fogg's toilet, and then stuffs a cat in there too for good measure. The poor cat! And poor Brother Fogg too. Cody then cycles over to his workplace to kill his old boss. Nah, just kidding, he drives there. Of course he does. He hacks the poor fucker up with a machete, then just when you think he's done, he brings out the chainsaw! Oh, hell yeah! I do have to say, even though they had pretty much no money, the special effects in this movie really shine through. Look at the spilled brains, that's fucking awesome! A few years ago, BleedingSkull.com tracked down Bret McCormick and spoke to him about the making of the Abomination. He revealed that he did most of the effects himself, despite having no experience in the field. Everything he knew, he'd learned from reading Famous Monsters of Filmland magazine while growing up. That's pretty cool, and I think they turned out great. If only they didn't give the game away by showing the best parts of the movie in a 5-minute montage right at the start. No joke, the film starts off with a chaotically edited highlight reel showing off pretty much every gore shot from the movie, including multiple shots of the Abomination. Come on man, everyone knows you don't show your monster right away. Imagine if Jaws has started out with a montage like this. They also reuse this same shot of Cody waking up in bed over and over which gets old real quick. In his interview, McCormick mentions that he and Devlen were inspired by how the likes of Roger Corman were able to cobble together feature films on a shoestring budget. And if you look really closely, you might be able to tell what kind of tricks McCormick used to pad out the runtime. For one thing, it's established early on that Cody has been having a recurring dream wherein he chases a girl out of a cemetery,
because I cannot kill her on holy ground,
then slashes her throat. Near the end, he encounters the girl for real and finally makes his dream a reality by chasing her down and slashing her throat. We see the whole scene replayed, the entire chase, with no cuts made. We even see him hosing down his car afterwards.
There's blood all over my truck. I know I have to wash it off.
So a good 5 minutes of the movie are made up of, well, a different 5 minutes of the same movie. Plus there's the montage and the endless fucking driving scenes. In reality, there's probably about 40 minutes of actual movie in this 90-minute film. Eventually, Cody's girlfriend shows up to catch him in the act of feeding the Abomination. Gotta love those fake body parts. Cue the final battle. But there's no happy ending for our girl as she's dragged away by the Abomination to be tentacle raped for all eternity. The end. Oh, and then there's a last minute twist that reveals the whole movie was in Cody's head. Cause sure there is.
No, Cody, it's not just a meaningless dream. The reason you're here is that you're suspected of murdering 7 people.
The actual end. After McCormick directed The Abomination, it was Devlen's turn to helm Ozone, Attack of the Redneck Mutants. No prizes for guessing what happens in this one. A gas leak at a chemical plant creates a hole in the ozone layer, which turns some of the local population into flesh-hungry zombies. So McCormick and Devlen, when you think about it, actually made one movie about religious charlatanism and one movie about the damage humans do to the environment. If these movies came out nowadays, they'd be called Cooked. Several cast members from The Abomination are also in this film. Our leading man is once again Scott Davis, and he actually gets a lot more to do this time round.
I'm gonna have to rabies shots and everything else. I hate needles. I can't stand them.
He's paired up with a scientist named Arlene who's investigating the strange goings-on. She's played by Blue Thompson, who was Cody's girlfriend in The Abomination, and was Bret McCormick's wife in real life. When they get attacked by one of the mutants, they have to call on another redneck for help, but they can only convince him to come if he thinks he's gonna get to have sex with Arlene.
Come and get me. Make sure your gun's loaded.
He's played by McCormick's brother Brad, so if you think about it, he spends half this movie trying to fuck his own sister-in-law.
Oh baby, oh baby.
When he arrives to save them and shoots the zombies, there's no gunshot sound effect, so it looks like the zombie just sort of falls down and dies. And that's not the only time they forget to add a sound effect. Much like The Abomination, the action is intercut with tedious scenes of nothing happening. Half of the runtime is spent on this old lady cleaning her kitchen and preparing dinner. It goes on and on and on. What's on the menu, you ask? Why, chicken, of course. Jesus Christ. We also spend a lot of time on this guy Wade's girlfriend. He's supposed to go on a date with her, so she gets ready, goes out to meet him, and when he doesn't show up, she just goes back home.
This is the biggest mistake you've ever made.
Okay then, glad we saw all that. We do get to see her stuffing her bra though. Now that's a good scene. Oh god, not more driving, please, I beg you. Thankfully, they don't spend quite as much time in cars in Ozone as they do in The Abomination, and soon our heroes are back on foot as they arrive at Wade's house, where the old lady turns out to be his mother. Well, after we spend 10 minutes watching her cook dinner, I guess we might as well spend 10 minutes watching them eat it. There's a plot twist here where Kevin, turns out to be trying to cover up the chemical spill incident.
What? That's who you are. You son of a bitch.
Oh, the drama. Then a fight scene breaks out and even the old lady joins in.
Come on, boy, kick his butt.
However, it comes to an end when Wade starts to transform into a mutant.
Oh shit, he's turning into a mutant.
Why does it only affect rednecks? Why isn't everybody turning into zombies? Ah, who cares? Check out this sweet neck bite. Once again, the special effects are the real standout of the movie. Like this sick eyeball eating scene complete with gnarly sound effects. Our perspective then shifts to a local general store where some kind of talent show is being held.
Do you ever know how to sex a cow?
No, how you do it?
Take 2 fingers, you lift the tail, you poke them straight in. If one bends, it's a bull. If they both go in, it's a heifer.
No shit.
No, I wouldn't shit you either.
You're not my favorite turd.
What the fuck? Then not one, but 2 different women get up to sing absolutely horrible songs, and both times we hear the full songs. Have mercy.
God dang! 16.
Thankfully, the mutants show up to put us out of our misery, and the last 10 minutes are a non-stop gore fest, where guts are ripped out and limbs are torn off. Wade's girlfriend even gets cornered in the bathroom. Here's zombie! Then he gives her the kiss of death. Oh, that's so gross! And for one final twist, Arlene herself turns into a zombie and eats Kevin. Roll credits. Ozone, Attack of the Redneck Mutants is not a very good film, but it is at least better than The Abomination. More things do happen, and there is a sense of the plot actually moving forward, with our 2 protagonists actually trying to achieve an end goal. They never actually get there, and the movie just sort of stops rather than having a proper ending, but it's at least something. In The Abomination, Cody just kept killing people, and eventually someone else killed him, the end. And while there are still way too many scenes of people driving in Ozone, they don't linger as long as they did in The Abomination, and usually have dialogue or something playing over the top, so it at least gives the illusion that something is happening. Plus, The Abomination doesn't feature the amazing bra stuffing scene, so there's another point in Ozone's favor.
Now you're talking.
One last thing before I go. I was looking up the film's distributor, Mother Video, because in his Bleeding Skull interview, McCormick mentions that Mother Video was actually Matt Devlin's own label that he set up himself, and the mother of Mother Video was Matt Devlin's own mother, Barbara Davis. She's one of the singing ladies in Ozone. But then I found a page from Mother Video on the Scary Logos wiki. the fucking Scary Logos wiki. I mean, for fuck's sake.